Good morning. I wanted to hop on here and give you a quick update on some really awesome information that we came up with doing our research for our Black History Month posts. But before I get into that, I want to talk about the 2023 Preservation and Education campaign that we have. You've probably seen the GoFundMe on our Facebook or Instagram. And what we're looking to do is raise a minimum of $5,000 to help benefit 5 really great organizations that have a connection to the NGP in 1898. At the end of the year, hopefully we'll be able to split that 5 ways and get at least $1,000 into the accounts for specific projects to help further education or preservation efforts that are associated with our Pennsylvania National Guard in the early years. The first organization is the Capitol Preservation Committee. So if you're old enough to remember, all of our state's battle flags used to be in the Capitol Rotunda around the staircase in these nice fancy ornate cases. They realized at one point that wasn't the best option to store them, and it wasn't good for the conservation of them either. So they're in a new location now, they're being taken care of, but it's an ongoing project. It's not just a one and done. So there's a fund that's set up to help take care of that work, and we'd like to kick in some money to further that along. These are the battle flags that Pennsylvanians carried off to war during the Civil War, the Spanish-American War, and I believe there's a couple other militia colors and things like that from other areas of history. The next organization is the Mount Gretna Area Historical Society. So we'll be there in May to do our 125th anniversary program of mustering in the National Guard for the Spanish-American War. But if you don't know where Soldiers Field is, it's not on Google Earth or Google Maps or any of that stuff. There aren't any signs there to tell you what happened. And the National Guard was active up there from the 1880s to the 1930s. So we'd like to change that. We'd like to get some signage up there to help tell the story of the NGP and the Pennsylvania National Guard. So that's what we're going to look to do for Mount Gretna. The next site is Fort Mott. So Fort Mott is a New Jersey state park in Pennsville, New Jersey. So the fort's still there. They've been doing some great restoration work. They have a museum there, but they don't have anything that really talks about the 14th Pennsylvania, outside, any kind of interpretive signage or anything like that. So we'd like to help them out with a donation, to do some interpretive signage for the 14th time when they were there during the Spanish-American War. So they're from the western part of the state. The colonel, he ended up taking charge of Fort Mott and Fort Delaware during their time there from the summer of 1898. The next site would be Fort Delaware. As we just said, 14th Pennsylvania was there. They had detachments of men. The lieutenant colonel and some of the other officers ended up taking over the staff duties out there. And while there aren't any kind of markers or signs to the 14th from the Spanish-American War, there are marks from the 14th Pennsylvania during the Spanish-American War. Some of the men there, they took it on their own to carve their names and hometowns and stuff into the brickwork. So it's kind of a neat artifact. But we'd like to put something that kind of tells the full story. And last but not least, our friends at the PA Military Museum. We did an event there last September. We have one in April and another one in September of this year. And they have a really good education initiative that they're trying to put together, and we'd like to support it. So they're going to be the last beneficiary of this program. So if you have some extra money kicking around that you want to do something good with, donate to our campaign. If you can't donate right now, please share the information. And the more people we have kick in, the better it's going to be. Like I said, the goal's $5,000. We currently have $100, which it's a nice start, but man, we have a long way to go. So, but we also have a lot of year left. So let's see what we can do and help out 5 great sites. But now back to what I jumped on here for. So we found out some really great African American and NGP history, and we're going to release that on Monday and Wednesday. And pretty much it goes against everything we've read, everything we've been told, everything the regulations say. So it's going to be, it's pretty cool. Not a lot of people are privy to it yet. So once we get it all polished up, we'll get it released on Monday and Wednesday next week. So keep an eye out for that. Thanks for following, and thanks for sharing our work. And we really appreciate it. We put a lot of effort into the research and the education aspect of it. And it's good to see people interested in it, because it's a time in our history, and it's a time in our National Guard that's not really talked about a lot. So thanks again, and looking forward to seeing you guys out in the field. Take care.